Sean Kingston received 42 months. That's 3.5 years in federal prison for wire fraud.
It was about the fact that he was a 16-year-old who rose to fame overnight and never had any guidance on finances, never knew how much money was in his bank account. Business managers handle that, and some of them didn't handle it properly. So we're here today because Sean still to this day doesn't know how much money is in his bank account and does like to buy nice stuff. I think that anybody who buys that much jewelry, and you all know from social media, I would call it an addiction. Just like people who have an addiction to gambling get a lower sentence, I would say that this was an addiction to nice stuff.
Prosecutors were actually asking for more. They wanted 60 months, so 5 years.
5 years, okay. And this wasn't just him acting alone, was it? There was a family connection here.
That's right. His mother was also involved, found guilty of fraud and grand theft as well. She actually received her sentence last month, 5 years in federal prison.
Wow, okay. So that adds quite another layer to the whole situation. Can you break down how the fraud actually worked? How did they use his celebrity status?
Well, essentially, the prosecution argued that Kingston and his mother leveraged his fame to trick luxury businesses. They managed to get over $1 million worth of items delivered before paying. We're talking jewelry, a really high-end bed, cars, even a TV company.
$1 million worth.
Mm-hmm.
How did they manage the payment part then? Or rather, the non-payment?
Well, that's the fraud part. They'd have the goods delivered, and then they would use wire transfers that were either completely fraudulent or just, worthless. For you listening, wire fraud basically means using electronic communications like wire transfers as part of a scheme to deceive and steal. That was the core charge. Besides that, they pointed out that he had apparently repaid a lot of the money owed already. And they mentioned his history of, good deeds serving meals around Thanksgiving, things like that. Ultimately, they were pushing hard for house arrest instead of prison time. He'd actually been on house arrest before the sentencing.
So they threw a few different things at the wall, hoping something would stick. But the judge wasn't convinced.
No. Despite all those arguments, the judge decided prison time was necessary. And Kingston was taken into custody immediately, right there after the sentencing. He'd asked for a bit of time to sort out medical appointments first, but that was denied.
Taken straight into custody. What about the money side of things, the restitution? Is that settled?
Not completely, no. The exact amount he needs to pay back is still to be determined. There's another hearing scheduled for October just to finalize that specific figure, so that piece is still ongoing.
Right, okay.